Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today we are checking out two awesome pairs of shoes which I haven't got in my collection personally but have been provided to us from the guys at the Buy My Sneaker app. So without further ado, let's check out the Desert Ore and the Black White Air Max 90 from Off-White and Nike. Alright, so these shoes have been around for quite a while now, in fact since around mid-January where they released globally, except for South Africa of course. Why does that happen all the time? But these were essentially the second and third pairs to release after the OG sort of white version, which I did have in the collection at one stage, but I just found the shoe not to be very wearable for me, and I'll get to why a little later in this review. But I'm just going to start by showing you both shoes side by side just so you can see the difference in the colorways. Obviously the materials and construction etc are both the same on both pairs of shoes, so I think I'm just going to start with the Desert Ore pair because this is definitely my favorite from the two. And starting with the outsole, on this particular shoe they've kept that tonal as you've seen in other Air Max 90 pairs from Off-White, and this is a Desert Ore color, which is kind of a greeny beige khaki color in real life, and that obviously carries through into the midsole of the shoe and then pretty much into the upper, but there are varied, very slight different shades between the different materials used on the upper. Speaking about the upper, when we move up the shoe, you do have the suede patch here which follows into the heel section of the shoe. This is one thing that's different from usual Air Max 90s. If we just look at what the usual pairs have, I know this one is from the moon landing, but it does have Nike Air branding done on that particular patch, whereas on this pair it is excluded from that. So it kind of just keeps the whole upper clean and more focused on the Off-White design detailing. Moving just further up that, you do have this mango orange. It's kind of like a more of a peachy pink coloring on the swoosh, and then that has obviously got exposed stitching around it, which is something that we've seen as a design trait of Off-White shoes. And then just to check out the little tab here which has been sewn underneath that mango swoosh, they've gone with a turquoisey and almost aqua color, which is something quite different to what we've seen on previous Off-White shoes. In fact, most of them, and including the black pair, do have the standard orange tab over there. And then moving up the shoe into the top layer and in the toe box material, this is a nylon. It's almost like a ballistics mesh, but more of a nylon material. And then sealing all of that in, you do have this overlaid khaki green material all the way around through the toe box and onto the midsole side of the shoe. And while we're here, you've obviously got the iconic Off-White trademark for Nike print, which is done over the mango swoosh on the medial side of the shoe. And then flicking up into the laces, they've kept those tonal as well. There are a slightly darker shade of green on here. However, they do also provide you with a mango set of laces as well, just to kind of tie up with the other touch points in that coloring on the shoe. Moving further up into the tongue and the heel collar section of the shoe, you do have that exposed foam, giving it that distressed kind of deconstructed look that Virgil's gone with. And then you've also got a Nike sportswear logo that's been stitched into the side of it instead of the top of the shoe. Now, I did mention earlier why I didn't think that these were really great on foot, and especially why I don't have the OG pair anymore, because when I had them on foot, the length of the tongue that you get in here, because it is an oversized tongue to begin with, it just comes up really high on your foot, and it doesn't look right for me. And I don't know if it's just from when I'm looking down or just looking from the side on foot. It just doesn't really work for the silhouette on me, whereas the other, more standardized Air Max 90s, I definitely do not have the problem with. And just while we're inside the shoe, the sock liner is also done in this greeny color, and you've got the 10 logo printed onto both insoles of the shoe. Last but not least, something we have seen in a couple of other shoes from Off-White is this baby blue Off-White zip tie, and that is on both of the shoes. So now we've got the black pair up here. It's much the same in terms of its material makeup, and obviously, as you'll see, this is just a plain back with a white swoosh and then the orange tab on it. Same zip tie on here, same branding on it, same branding on the insole. The shoe is, yeah, you guessed it, the same. Now, if you are looking to get a pair of these from a sizing perspective, for me, I would go true to size with it. The shoe is a bit snug on that. If you do have a wide foot, I would suggest maybe going up half a size. This particular pair is a 9.5 UK and this is a 9. I've tried them both and I'm definitely preferring true to size on it, although this will give you slightly more room and won't look that much more ridiculous in terms of it being too big on your foot. So it's really neither here nor there which way you go, in my opinion. And if you do want to get a pair, they're currently sitting on the resale market for around $650 for either one of these colorways. That's if you're buying from places like StockX, etc. However, they are available locally here in South Africa through the Buy My Sneaker app, which these pairs are actually actually from. So you can definitely look to grab a pair from them and get it here a hell of a lot quicker without the customs and shipping hassles that we have bringing stuff here into the country. But yeah, that's pretty much it for these 2 pairs of Off-White Air Max 90s. I hope you guys have found the review helpful. If you do have any further questions, please feel free just to drop them in the comments here below. And last but not least, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe right here if you did enjoy the video and want to see more content like this down the line. Otherwise, that's it from me. I'll catch you on the next one.